Guys, we got a very powerful full moon in Leo that is activating today. This full moon is really all about exposing to us, like once and for all, the genuine, authentic truth of our heart, showing us our passions, showing us our desires, helping us to really start breaking out of our previously existing inhibitions that have prevented us from pursuing them, and also leaving some things in the past that have also been blocking our progress moving forward. This is a jam-packed full moon that we have going on today. It is forming a grand cross in the sky with the north and the south nodes of the moon. Really big astrology today. We got a lot to talk about. Let's jump into the report. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is my report for the full moon in Leo that is happening today. First of all, you guys, I just have to give a huge shout out to one of my subscribers, Matt Riley. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But anyways, he built us a website. So there's an AubreyStars.com website now, you guys, courtesy of Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. And all of my videos are posted over there as well. I'm also going to be posting information about readings and stuff over there. Just so you guys know, I'm actually not doing personal readings at the moment. I've gotten a few requests about that. And really, it's just because of like time constrictions, time constraints on my life at the moment. But when I'm ready to start opening up for personal readings again, I will also be posting it over there. So if you guys want more Aubrey Stars, there's a website now. So thank you again, Matt. And let's jump into the astrology for this full moon. So, oh my gosh, big time astrology, you guys. We have a grand cross setting up in the sky today between the north and the south nodes of the moon, the past and the future, destiny and karma, the lessons that we need to learn, what we need to release in order to get there. Setting up in this square with both the sun and the moon in Aquarius and Leo are reflecting, literally reflecting on the authentic truth of our heart, of our passion, of our joy, like what truly we love. The moon in Leo. So let's talk about all of this that we have going on, break it down, general themes that, this moon is representing. It's exposing, as I said in my intro, to us the true nature of our heart, of our soul, the moon in Leo, and what we are truly passionate about, what we value, what we desire. You guys, alongside of this grand cross that we have going on for our full moon today, our full Leo moon, we also have Venus and Mars coming into exact cazimi, exact to the freaking minute conjunction in the sky at the moment of this full moon, which I will talk about as I get through the report. But I wanted to bring that up as well because there's just this definite theme all woven into this energy about relationship dynamics, the relationship we have to ourselves, the authentic truth that we are relating to within us, how that's reflecting in relationships, what it's breaking down, what it's bringing in. And really this moon today is marking a pretty massive shift in our progress, in our trajectory moving forward. We are, it's what we see in ourselves is what this is showing us, this authentic truth, what we love, what we value, what we're passionate about, what we desire. This moon is really lighting that up for us to see that within ourselves in the light of this moon, this full moon. Full moons expose things. They show us where we're at in this process of growth and development that began with the new moon. They bring things into the full exposure, the full, like we see the full picture when we're dealing with a full moon. And this energy today is showing us the authentic, naked truth of what is really in our heart, what we authentically love, what we authentically desire. And because of the aspects that are in effect, there are things happening to help us break resistances and begin moving towards that more authentic path that is destined to bring us a much greater sense of fulfillment in our experiences as well. So the full moon in Leo, ruled by the sun in opposition to the sun today. This, whatever is happening during this next 2-week period or with this full moon today, this is life-changing stuff. This is life-changing energy, likely to change our lives in one way or another and push us down a new path, traveling in a radically different direction than anything that we have maybe even known before. This is faded endings, you guys. This is faded alignments, faded beginnings, and major transformations in relationships, in partnerships, finances, resources, our home life, where we're living. A lot of moves going on right now, I feel like. And also in terms of the things that we are building, that we are working on, that we are creating right now as well. Definitely undergoing some massive shifts, massive transformations, but it's for the purpose of this authentic heart-based alignment that universe really wants us to be like using to motivate our progress forward at this point in time as well. The things and the relationships we are creating and conceiving at this point in time right now will move our lives in a tangibly different direction that is in alignment with our soul's personal evolution, expansion, growth, our soul's like true purpose that we came, the things that we actually came to this life to conquer and to understand and to express and to create and to grow into, all of that potential being activated through these alignments that universe is creating right now to help push us in that direction of tapping that potential, getting reacquainted with all of those natural, like inborn gifts and abilities and passions and talents that may have been latent and unused and disregarded, neglected for quite a while. The script is being flipped on that right now, so to say, from a cosmic perspective. And it's all leading towards this greater level of satisfaction and personal soul fulfillment and abundance as well that can result from that. Manifestation energy with this moon, you guys, is very strong, crazy powerful right now. We are in miracle making energy right now. We are in the 222 cycle of our 222 year, also lined up with the new moon in Aquarius, which this moon is marking the halfway point through. We now have 2 more weeks in our Aquarius cycle before we head into our new moon in Pisces cycle, which will wrap up. It'll be the last lunar cycle of this astrological lunar year that we are in, which always begins with the new moon in Aries. But we have also, alongside of this very faded energy that is asking us to look at our own true reflection, the reflection of our heart, and break ourselves free from anything that has been binding us, from being able to really express that, or from things and places that we've been giving our power away to and sort of succumbing to that have kept us out of that place of self-empowerment and the ability to use our own gifts and abilities to create and align with in our experience. This energy is coming back right now. This is miracle making energy. This is energy of endless possibilities. This is energy of lost opportunities regained, and it's readily available for all of us as long as we can do what universe is asking us to do right now and surrender to the truth of our heart and keep working to better ourselves regardless of the obstacles we may be facing right now at this point in time, and working towards our goals and then having that faith in the universe and allowing it to do the rest. Our part in this is to keep our attitude right, to keep our mindset right, to be in control of our thoughts and to really monitor our inner dialogue and to keep our eye on the prize and visualize the outcome of whatever we are working towards, and then surrender to the changes that are happening right now with the faith that universe is doing the rest of the work and is really bringing in these divine alignments that can help us and support us going forward, regardless of what the circumstances may be. And the flip side of that is also this death and rebirth energy, these things that we're having to leave behind, and this transformation, this purge, this purification, this cleansing, this release of toxic mindsets, toxic intertwinements with others, toxic like financial dynamics, and like deep, complex, like psychological issues that have been preventing us from really being able to align with ourselves and tap into that potential and go on this evolutionary course towards our highest potential and the fulfillment and the abundance that, again, is associated with that. So that ultimately, in a nutshell, just to begin the report, is sort of the energy that is being represented and that is coming in today with this beautiful full moon that we have going on in this grand cross to the nodes of the moon, destiny and karma, like I said, while we simultaneously have Venus and Mars coming into an exact to-the-minute conjunction in Capricorn, and actually Pluto in Capricorn is also forming an exact almost trine and sextile to the nodes as well. So death and rebirth energy. We are at a crossroads right now. We are crossing a bridge into a new reality, but in order to get there, it is requiring this heart-based realignment, which this full moon in Leo is really doing the most to expose to us and allow us to emotionally reflect on and to see and to embody and to begin to live and step into and to create with. Let's talk about the aspects more specifically now. As I've said several times by this point, this full moon is literally like it's exact. Okay, guys, it's like barely, but pretty much definitely exact to the degree of the north and the south nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, forming this grand cross in fixed signs. We're talking about the fixed signs. We have the sun in Aquarius, we have the moon in Leo, we have the north node in Taurus, we have the south node in Scorpio. So just in the fact that we have this grand cross going on in fixed signs can be a bit resistant to things, a bit stubborn, a bit not necessarily wanting to move or go with the flow, very fixed, very like steadfast in whatever they are focused on. And with this grand cross happening in earth signs, this is fixed signs, this is definitely like breaking resistances, like breaking through like held patterns of being in order so that we can move forward and release, with it being the north and the south node pitted up against the sun and the moon, Leo and Aquarius. Sun in Aquarius, moon in Leo, this dynamic right here is definitely having us reflecting on our own authentic truth, our own authentic potential, and what we have inside of us, our passions, our joys, what we love, the creative energy and potential within us that we can use in that authentic alignment. This is having us reflecting on our authentic truth and our capacity to rise into the power that represents, to see the authentic nature and the truth of our heart, the light that is shining inside of us. The moon in Leo, in the square to the north and the south node in Taurus and Scorpio. Well, the south node in Scorpio, this is about release. The south node, release, letting go, moving away from Scorpio, these toxic, deep, emotional, psychological complexes and intertwinements with others, where we surrender our power, these like codependent relationships and dynamics that we have going on, just this toxic, disempowering, self-surrendering, psychological bondage type energy. This is what we are clearing. This is what we are moving away from. This may be actually what we have gotten quite comfortable to operating in for a long period of time, considering it's the south node. This is what we're comfortable. This is what we're experienced with. Like, we got this one figured out, but it is time now to really graduate from that experience, to leave all that in the past, to take the wisdom that we've gained from it, what we've learned from it, and to move on from holding that darkness within us, and to begin to tap and cultivate the authentic creative potential that we hold inside of us. Taurus, a sign of the builder, with one's hands, with oneself, through one's own personal resources. That is what we are doing right now over the next year and a half as the north node is in Taurus. That is the next phase of the lesson plan. That is the next phase of growth, also represented by the sign of Taurus. We are growing, we are building, we are constructing with our own two hands, metaphorically, in and of the resources that we hold inside of us. We are tapping our own potential, and we are using that to create solid, stable foundations for ourselves, to build a material comfort, material stability, abundance, like pleasure. And this, there's a large partnership dynamic that goes along with this as well as financial security. And as I said, like material comforts, material abundance associated with the sign of Taurus as well. So this grand cross that we have going on with these for the north and the south node and the sun and the moon, it's really telling us that through this realignment with this heart-based authentic potential, that is what we are tapping the north node going forward. But in order to get there, we have to release, let go of, and move on from these toxic intertwinements, or where we have been bound to things that are not serving our own sense of internal self-value as well, Taurus, and self-empowerment. And so that is what this, first of all, the main dynamic that we have set up for this full moon, that is what this is indicating, this forward progress along those lines as a result of this reflection and this exposure of that genuine, authentic, heart-based nature. And we're getting assistance from Venus and Mars together in the sky as well, because with that pair together, the cosmic lovers in union for this moment, while we have the moon in Leo, this is talking about this massive creative potential and this reintegration of the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us, leading to this greater sense of self-empowerment and self-mastery and internal like peace and balance and stability, like in and of within ourselves, and aligning with this authentic passion and desire and love and the true nature of our heart from this full moon in Leo, couple with Venus and Mars together in the sign of Capricorn. This is telling us that, once we move forward, once we start going in this new direction and really begin pursuing these true wants, desires, and passions, we are going to be able to create and conceive something really rewarding and that is actually physically manifest and grounded in reality, with it happening in the sign of Capricorn. So, the things that sorry, I got a little lost in my notes. Let me get back to it. So let's talk for a minute also about the positioning of the Sabian symbols. And I also, before we get into the Sabian symbols, which I will first explain and then talk about which ones we have in effect today, I also wanted to say that this moon today, this full moon, because it is in the square to the nodes, it is also activating the eclipse windows that we had in June and November. So I wanted to mention as well that there may be things coming up right now that are like unresolved or that started happening in like June or November during eclipse season that are coming back up in this energy as well, for this sort of resolution and this release from one aspect and this moving forward into another aspect. So I wanted to mention that as well. This energy is definitely triggering those eclipses that we had in the fall as well. So we have the degree of the sun and the degree of the moon itself today for this eclipse. It's actually happening at 27 degrees and 59 minutes of Aquarius and Leo, like the very, very last minute of 27 degrees. But I'm reading this as 28 degrees because in my work, for those of you who are familiar with my channel, I read the Sabian symbols. And when we read the Sabian symbols, we always round up a degree because energy moves in waves. And it's like by the time that a degree is being discharged, it's really already picking up on the tones and the way that the next incoming energetic is representing itself. And so it kind of makes more sense to just pay attention to the energy that's incoming, that's beginning to express, as opposed to the energy that's waning out. So when I'm looking at the degrees of a chart, I'm always rounding up a degree. And for those of you who are unaware what the Sabian symbols are, what they are is a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever there's a planet at a specific point discharging a degree, making an aspect, we can just look to the Sabian symbol, read the symbol, understand it, and it just gives us like an additional layer of clarity and understanding, what this particular aspect is doing in terms of this grand unfolding cosmic story, cosmic blueprint that is perpetually carrying us through time and space. So I always like to look at and be aware of the Sabian symbols that are in effect on any given day with any given chart, just because it gives us that extra layer of clarity in interpreting what is really going on this page of the story, in this section of the blueprint. So the degree of the sun and the moon, the full moon in Leo, and the earth today, which is always in a polar opposition to the sun, so it lines up with the moon for the full moon, 28 degrees of Leo. That Sabian symbol is many little birds on the limb of a large tree. And this to me, just the moon's position at this degree specifically, I feel like this is talking about over the course of this next couple weeks and sort of embedded in this energy and, how we can use this energy sort of wisely as we're navigating, talking, communicating, observing things from like a higher perspective, listening to other people, learning from other people, gaining insight, gaining information, gaining like perspective, and also then applying it to our own internal self-development and cultivating and tapping into our personal resources. We have the moon at 28 degrees of Leo, many little birds on the limb of a large tree. We have the position of the sun today for this full moon, 28 degrees of Aquarius, a tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of use for winter. So with this dynamic setting up, it's almost like I feel like the information that we are gaining, the perspective that we are seeing things from now, what is being exposed to us from this bird's eye view that we're talking, that we're chatting, that we're communicating, that we're gaining information, gaining insight, learning about, is directly related to us tapping and cultivating that authentic energy, that authentic creative potential within us, in preparing for what's to come. A tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of wood for winter. This is talking about tapping a resource to ensure that it can be used to benefit us going forward in one way, in some point, however it works out. But the combination of these two symbols in effect for this full moon today is definitely telling me that the vantage point, the information, the way we're viewing and speaking about and thinking about things now is directly related to this ability to tap and cultivate these resources within us that may really benefit us moving forward down this new path, which is also indicated today with the North Node being in, the square with the sun and the moon, and also a trine to Pluto, talking about big transformations also going on in order to move us down in this new direction. This may also be about today, this full moon, transforming and freeing our mind to tap that potential. The degrees that we have going on, 28 degrees of the moon, the little birds on the tree. Birds are always, to me, synonymous like thoughts, ideas, information, communication, and also like a free mind. The liberty, and these birds are on the tree, like they're free. They're able to express themselves in their truth. We also have Pluto today in the trine to the North Node as well, 28 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is a large aviary. Again, talking about birds and being able to take flight. Now, these birds aren't necessarily totally free, but we know that Pluto is also in a trine to the North Node right now, and the position of the moon is talking about the birds being free. So I do feel like this is a process of freeing and transforming our mind and our thoughts that is contributing to this exposure and reflection of our authentic truth that this energy is trying to bring to us. We also have Jupiter right now at 11 degrees of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is men traveling a narrow path seeking illumination. Again, and this is the expansive energy of the zodiac. This is Jupiter. This is talking about this path that we are walking right now in the direction of illumination, of freeing our mind, and the impact that has on moving us forward in this new direction. Plus the degrees of the sun and the North Node, both of them. We have the sun, like I said, a tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of wood for winter. And we have the North Node moving to 27 degrees of Taurus today. That Sabian symbol is an old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets. Again, both of these symbols referencing this very Taurian energy of cultivating your resources and serving them to provide or to use them to benefit in some way. Cultivating value, tapping value, and using it to create and fill a need. That is what, the direction forward, the path forward is asking us at this point in time. We may receive some very unexpected information or tumultuous information or messages that really open our eyes in some way and, maybe a little harsh, but are ultimately very cleansing over this full moon or the next couple of weeks. We have Mercury today at 2 degrees of Aquarius, an unexpected thunderstorm. Mercury being the messenger planet. This period of time also being about this illumination and these revelations and these understandings. Mercury is still in a loose conjunction to Pluto, transforming our mind, transforming our thoughts, transforming our perspective so that we can, again, have this heart-based realignment going on that we are actively pursuing with Mars and Venus in the conjunction and creating with as well. But really, at the end of the day, again, another emphasis on these same themes. We have Venus and Mars, you guys, forming that exact to the minute Cazimi conjunction today at 17 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is a girl surreptitiously bathing in the nude, full exposure. And we have Saturn ruling Capricorn, where this conjunction between Venus and Mars is taking place right now at 18 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a man's secret motives are being publicly unmasked. Again, full exposure. While we have this full moon going on, Leo and Aquarius talking about the full exposure of the authentic truth of what's in our heart and our desire to break free in a new direction and go in pursuit of that with Venus and Mars together in Capricorn. This whole chart is really about seeing the naked truth and unmasking our authentic heart-based passions and desires, coming into an internal place of self-empowerment where we can walk away from what's no longer good for us and begin to build and create something truly, truly rewarding on that soul-based level from a heart-based alignment going forward down this new path into our new future. Venus and Mars being an exact cazimi today, exact to the minute conjunction at the moment of this full moon that we have going on in this square to the nodes. This is I feel like I've already pretty much described the basic nature of this, but with a Leo moon and with Venus and Mars in exact conjunction at that degree, a girl surreptitiously bathing in the nude, while the nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars. So both Venus and Mars in conjunction today are ruling the North and the South nodes for this grand cross that we have going on with this full moon in Leo today. This is insanely fated stuff that is happening, that is going on, especially in regards to relationships and in terms of the divine feminine, the divine masculine energies and archetypes within us. This is a re-merging also happening with this full moon of these divine feminine and divine masculine archetypes within us, bringing us to this place of reintegration, of self-empowerment, of this internal state of balance, but also passion, motivation, and will, in alignment with one another. This is a crazy, crazy realignment of the heart and the will, the power and the balance that represents within us as this full moon grand cross, past and future, is also going on. It's like this internal realignment that is going on is in some way playing into us being able to reflect on these authentic truths of our heart and our soul and our passions and our creative potential and ability really coming clear to us, and what that is doing to move us forward in this energy of this full moon that we have going on. This is also beginning a new cycle, Venus and Mars coming into an exact conjunction, a new cycle in love and relationships, desires, passions, the heart and the will, wants and needs, giving and receiving, divinely inspired creative pursuits also indicated with this. And it's coming in with this divine timing, and it's a girl surreptitiously bathing in the nude. It is all about the actual authentic naked truth of what we want, what we desire, what we're passionate about, what our heart and soul truly needs, and us having the internal self-empowerment to really go after it and to pursue it, because we are understanding it, we are embodying it, we are merging with it, with this full moon energy that we have going on. And this is also representing a massive release from any inhibitions that we may have been dealing with, that may have been holding us back from pursuing these truths with this, because especially with that South Node in Scorpio, we're definitely releasing and moving away from anything that we've been bound to, that has been blocking our progress. Whatever we are creating, building, and forming now in this energy will be powerful. It will be rewarding. It will be physically tangible in our experience because of this earth sign energy that we have going on as well. On a macrocosm level with this, we may definitely see some big breakdowns beginning to happen in terms of all of the Taurus and the Capricorn and the Scorpio themes, resources, supply chains, finances, economies, the material comforts and stuff like that we've grown used to and accustomed to, just the general way that economies are operating and running. Also government authority, leadership, just the elite classes and sectors of society, and also big changes going on in terms of relationship dynamics and mergement, intertwinements with others, and things that have been hidden, abuses of power, corruption, things that have been going on under the surface, all of that type of stuff really being rooted out and fully exposed as we move through this energy, definitely though, some big possible changes, upsets, upheavals coming in our material world moving forward through this year. And that's another reason why it's so important that we come back into the authentic alignment right now and really begin to tap our own internal resources, because as we move through this next, year and a half with the North Node in Taurus, this is also really speaking to this need to become much more self-reliant, much more self-sufficient, much more resourceful based like in and of ourselves, because things in the material world may not be so stable throughout this period. So that is really one of the main reasons why we are on this pursuit right now, is to really create our own balance, our own stability, our own comfort outside of a matrix that may perhaps be crumbling as we move through this energy. But in our personal lives, with this moon, this is, we are being self-empowered to overcome toxic and self-limiting complexes within us and begin building and attracting a radically different story for ourselves. This energy right now is also marking, you guys, the 2-week period leading up to March 2nd, when Venus and Mars will be coming into an exact conjunction with Pluto in correspondence to the new moon in Pisces and everything else that we have going on this day. This is really big energy that I have been talking about for a long time now. And this is really going to mark a very significant point in time when we are truly standing in our power and taking our power back and moving in this direction towards manifesting these creative pursuits, these divine alignments that are coming in now. This is a reintegration and a self-empowerment phase of our hero's journey that we are in now over this next 2 weeks, moving towards that point, very heavily activated. We are in, over this next 2 weeks, a period of incredible self-empowerment that is coming to us as a result of the energetics and the vibrations coming down from the cosmos. Tons of magic and miracles, divine connections going on right now in this energy, in this cycle, in this next year that we're moving into as well. And you guys, even today we have Uranus, ruler of this lunar cycle in Aquarius and the age of Aquarius, at 11 degrees and 11 minutes of the sign of Taurus. At the Sabian symbol, a young couple window shopping. I really feel like this is telling us that there is just this synchronicity and this magic that is intertwined in this energy, and it really is trying to bring us to our heart's greatest fulfillment, fulfilling our soul's desires as we move through and head down this new direction. And let's not forget, as I've mentioned, we also have Pluto in a trine to the North Node today as well. This is that death, this is that rebirth energy. Transformation, very much a part of this, but also very, very necessary so that we can become these new versions of ourselves that are able to align with our highest potential. And as a result of that, have and live the most fulfilling experience that our soul came to have in this lifetime. So that is what I have, you guys, for my full moon video for today. I hope that you were able to get something out of this video that can help you navigate this energy that is going on over the next couple of weeks. Really beautiful energy, very faded energy, hardcore soul connections coming in. We just need to surrender to the process. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a beautiful day. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I have a website now, aubrystars.com, Facebook page and Facebook group as well. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We will have more big astrology to talk about. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.